Let me show you something that should make you uncomfortable. In 2025, Microsoft Research and Carnegie Mellon University studied 319 knowledge workers, lawyers, analysts, executives, writers, people who get paid to think. They wanted to know one thing: what happens to your brain when you use AI regularly? The answer was not pretty. The more they used AI, the less their own critical thinking switched on. Not because they were lazy. The brain just saw a faster option and stepped back, handed the wheel over, every single time. There's a name for this: cognitive offloading. And here is why it is dangerous. Their brain marks the task as complete, even though you never actually did the thinking. The output exists, but the growth? That never happened. Now, multiply that by this number.
Over 900 million people opened ChatGPT every single week as of February 2026. That's before you count Gemini, Claude, Copilot, and every AI tool quietly embedded in the software people use daily.
We're talking about a shift in how an entire generation thinks, and almost nobody is treating it like the problem it actually is. Because the work still looks fine. The email lands, the report gets submitted, the decision gets made. What you cannot see is what's switching off inside the person who used to do those things themselves. Think about what happens when a cast comes off after 6 weeks. The arm is there, intact, but the muscle has shrunk, stiffened. It forgot what it was capable of, and the recovery takes longer than the injury did. That's what we need to talk about. Here's what this actually looks like on a normal day. A marketing director needs to write a strategy memo. Before she types a single word of her own thinking, she opens ChatGPT, writes a prompt, gets the output, edits it a little, sends it. Done. Efficient. Box ticked. Except here's what she skipped. She skipped the part where she has to sit with the problem, feel the friction of it, push through the discomfort until her own insight shows up. That process, that uncomfortable middle part nobody talks about, that's where real thinking happens. That's where your brain actually gets stronger. She bypassed it completely, and the scary part? It felt productive. Here's the analogy I want you to hold. Imagine hiring a personal trainer to do your push-ups for you. Your workout log looks great. Your arms will tell a very different story. That's exactly what's happening when you outsource your thinking to AI before you've done any of your own. Now, before you think this is an anti-AI argument, let me be straight with you. This video is not that.
Arguing against AI in 2026 is like arguing against electricity.
Pointless. AI is genuinely powerful. It processes information at a speed no human can match. It kills hours of repetitive mechanical work that was never really thinking anyway. It can challenge your argument, stress test your strategy, compress a week of research into 20 minutes. When you use it right, it doesn't replace your thinking. It gives your thinking more room to operate. So the tool is not the problem. The problem is that we stopped using it as a tool and started using it as a replacement. There's a difference between AI handling the grunt work and AI doing the thinking you were hired to do. One makes you sharper. The other quietly makes you dependent. We don't have an AI problem. We have a standing down problem. So why does this happen so easily? Why does the dependency form without you even noticing? Because your brain is not built for resistance. It's built for efficiency. The brain runs on roughly 20 watts of power, less than a dim light bulb. It has spent thousands of years evolving to do more with less. So when it sees a faster, easier option, it takes it every time, without guilt. This is actually ancient logic. fire, language, writing, calculators, humans have always built tools to offload work. And those tools made us smarter because they freed up mental space for bigger thinking. That pattern worked for thousands of years. Here's where AI breaks it. Every tool before AI handled physical or mechanical tasks. Writing stored memory so your brain didn't have to. Calculators handled arithmetic. These freed up your brain to think at a higher level. AI is the first tool that does the higher level thinking itself. It doesn't hand you back capacity, it takes over the job. And your brain, running the same ancient efficiency logic, doesn't see the threat. It feels like relief. The first time you let AI write the first draft, you save 45 minutes. Real win. Second time, same thing, but you also lose the friction that used to force you to organize your thoughts before you start it. Third time, you feel slightly uncertain writing without it. 6 months in, you're not just faster with AI, you're genuinely slower without it. That's how dependency works. It never announces itself. It just collects small daily permissions until one day the capability you thought you were enhancing is the capability you can't find anymore. So what do you do about it? You change the sequence. Right now, most people operate like this. Problem shows up, open AI, get output, adjust it a little, submit. Your brain walks in at the editing stage. By that point, you're not thinking, you're just cleaning up someone else's work. Here's the shift. Problem shows up, close everything, open a blank page, and spend time with your own thinking first. Whatever you know, whatever you believe, whatever your gut is telling you, get it out. Messy, incomplete, half-formed, doesn't matter. The only rule is yours first. Then bring AI in. Use it to push back on what you wrote, fill the gaps, challenge your logic, tighten the language, but walk into that conversation having already done the work, already having formed a position. The output at the end might look identical. What's different is what happened inside you before it existed. This works in any domain. Before you ask AI to analyze a situation, write your own read first. Before you ask it for a strategy, state your own instinct. Before you ask it to draft a message, write what you actually want to say in plain language. One simple rule to anchor this: no AI input before 10 minutes of your own thinking on anything that actually matters. 10 minutes of real friction every day is the difference between a mind that sharpens over time and one that quietly rusts behind a very clean interface. There are some things you simply cannot outsource, not because AI does them badly, because the act of doing them yourself is what keeps you sharp, credible, and irreplaceable. Your opinions. AI will give you balanced takes all day long, great for research, dangerous for leadership. The ability to sit with messy evidence and land on a position you're willing to defend, that's yours. Don't give it away. Your judgment on the hard calls, when the data is unclear, when the room is split, when there's no clean answer, that discomfort is not a problem to hand to AI. That's the job. That's what you're there for. Your taste, the instinct that tells you immediately when something is off before you can explain why. AI has no taste. It has patterns averaged from millions of sources. Your taste, built through years of genuine engagement with your work, is one of the few things that cannot be replicated. Here's where I want to leave you. AI is the most powerful cognitive tool ever built, and it will keep getting more powerful. But the people who benefit most from it long term will not be the ones who use it most. They'll be the ones who stayed sharp enough to use it well. Use the tool. Sharpen the mind that holds it. Because a sharp tool in a weak hand is not leverage. It's just a faster way to cut yourself.